This is Senator Gerard Rennick's latest video. Regulating a digital currency is fantasy. Now, this is the CBDC, the digital identity, and ultimately the mark of the beast, as Revelation chapter 13 talks about in the King James Bible, verses 16, 17, and 18. Bible prophecy is coming true. Non-Christians and Christians even themselves are not seeing it, are not looking for it mostly, and when shown it, can't even see it for themselves with what I post online and when I speak to people in person, one-on-one, like I did yesterday to a group of people in a park. Happens every week. People don't listen. People don't understand. People just take offense with the messenger rather than look at the message and the information, the data, the truth, the facts. Okay, so Mr. Rennick, great job here. Sad to see it again, but speaking to a parliament with no people present, just a handful, one or two, when there could have been hundreds of people present, and he talks for 15 minutes. It must be very discouraging. But hey mate, I know exactly how you feel. Been there, done that, and I'm doing it, still cop that regularly. So, 666, Revelation 13:18 says, "Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number shall be 666, 666, 666. Now, the pension age, I covered this in videos. I'm just going to show a condensed version of that. So in Australia, just like any country, the government is responsible for welfare, for people who want money, handouts, welfare. The top welfare in Australia, as with any country, is the pension. And then under that would be welfare benefits like unemployment benefits, single mother care, so on and so on and so on. But top of the list for government is pensions. Now, the Services Australia is part of the Australian government, obviously, and they changed incrementally the age of the pension from 65 years of age to 67 over a 6-year incremental period of time. And there are the dates. You can see the dates there. They changed it up over 6 years, incrementally by 6-month blocks, from 65 to 67. Now this reflects Obama's 66th year and 6th month, which is still to come, and him transitioning in 2027 from 66 years of age to 2028 being 67. This was done to reflect that because the mark of the beast is being rolled out this decade to the number 666, as you're about to see. Now, here's my 2 pages of information, so stick with me, please. This is Bible prophecy in action. Barack Obama, like I just talked about, will hit his 66th and 6th milestone, the last one. By the time he turns 67, then he's on to his 70th year. No more 666s for Obama. So this is a significant milestone, and it was always so. 2028. Mark that on the calendar, just like it says in Mark Your Calendar in the movie Knowing, which is all about, ultimately, about Obama. 4th of February 2028. Now, the Federal Reserve American $1 bill. Now he talks about currencies here, from Chinese currency to the American dollar. And he talks about the Federal Reserve, and he talks about the Reserve Bank of Australia. So Mr. Rennick, you might want to take this on board for consideration. Federal Reserve American $1 bill came into circulation from silver dollars certificates to the actual first federal dollar bill from the privately owned Federal Reserve in 1964. and that had affixed to it the Great Seal. Out of all the American dollar notes, the currency notes, the $1 bill is the only one that has the Great Seal connected to it. I've covered this in previous videos. So from 1964 to 1966 or 67, the $1, $5, $10, $20, $50 and $100 notes in America were circulated, were officially launched in America from 64 to 66, 67. Now, to 2030, the American dollar, by the time we reach January of 2030, will be 66 years and 6 months old from the time it went first into circulation in 1964. So every currency has its last day. It has a beginning and an end. And this decade, being the decade of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, is the decade also of the demise of the American dollar. And to replace that, cash will be slowly, incrementally, between 2023 now and this decade, 2030, removed, and the mark of the beast will come in, the biometrics, whatever it is going to be. Now, I've said this before, the United Nations, 1945, founded in October, 84 years on, is 2030. Interestingly, not coincidence by any means, by design, Obama's born on the 8th of the 4th, and he brought the 17 Sustainable Development Goals in 2015, and by the end date, decade, 2030, the United Nations will be 84 years old. Now, the Australian pension age, just like I said, went from 65 to 67 over a 6-year period to July 1st, 2023. The dates there, you need to be born between the first date that was launched was 1st of July 1952 and the last was the 1st of January 1957. That is a period of 4 years, which is 48 months and 6 months and 1 day. 4 years, 6 months, 1 day. Barack Obama born on the 4th of the 8th, 61. Again, I've covered this in the Australian pension data 66 and 6 in previous videos on YouTube and Rumble. Now, let's have a look and see whether the RBA... Let's look and see if the RBA has followed suit in Australia to the number of the beast, the number of his name, Revelation chapter 13. Michelle Bullock became the Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank of Australia on the 2nd of April 2022. She held that position till the 14th of July, officially, 2023, because they made a new announcement, for 66 weeks and 6 days. Now, please consider that these people from the RBA are going to be responsible, along with the government, with Services Australia, to bring in the mark of the beast, the 666 system, which is CBDCs, digital identities, carbon credits, and all of that good stuff, which is ultimately fulfilling Revelation chapter 13. Whether the Christians out there acknowledge that or the non-Christians, it makes no difference. It's happening. Nonetheless, it's happening and you cannot stop it. It's the plan. It's God's plan, not humankind's plan for the wrapping up of the end of the age. The elite Luciferians, they are following the Bible script. They understand that the script must be followed, is happening, but they have an alternative ending. These elitists that are Luciferians, the Freemasons and such. Now, from the 14th of July, marking 66 weeks and 6 days of Michelle Bullock being the Deputy Reserve Bank of Australia Governor, to being officially declared as she's going to take up the new position and replace Philip Lowe. That happened on the 14th of July 2023. 66 days later was the handover from Michelle Bullock, from Philip Lowe to Michelle Bullock. 66 is the book of Revelation, 66th book of the King James Bible. Are you starting to see the pattern that they created here, the schedule? And of course, Philip Lowe was made the governor of the RBA back on the date of 18th of November 2016. And he was in that position for exactly 7 years to the handover to Michelle Bullock on the 18th of November 2023. 84, Obama. So I hope this has been helpful. You've seen Obama's timeline that's yet to be reached. You've got the Federal Reserve dollar is on the way out within a 66-year and 6-month period to 2030. You've got the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. You've got the Australian pension. There's just one equation, counting equation from the Australian pension. If you want to see more of that and my breakdown, go and check out the videos I did on the pension. You've got Michelle Bullock being the new governor, from deputy governor to governor, 66 and 666, and then 66 as a reflection of the 666 is found in the 66th book of the Bible, being Revelation, from Genesis to Revelation, 66 books. And then you've got the 84 to back it all up, that Philip Lowe was in that position, and his last day in power was 18th November 2023. So I'll just finish on this. Here's the 1st of July 1952 to the 1st of January 1957 is 48 months, 4 years, 6 months and 1 day. Barack Obama. Time to get with the program, Mr. HERALD. Imagine if you took this on board, the influence you could have. Thanks for listening.